More coming up next.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
DBS News.
And welcome back, and a special good evening to the listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. First off, the Board of Directors of the National Cooperative Credit Union has a new president. Clement Marcel, former deputy leader of the United Workers' Party, was elected president at the institution's annual general meeting last month. Marcel says the board aims to implement new initiatives that serves the interest of its members and promote youth development.
As their humble servant, I look forward to continuing the process. Been serving at the NCCU for a previous term, and we were instrumental in our strategic focus. And now we even have a bold and a clear vision to enhance members' value through efficient service delivery, as well responsible lending and active community engagement. And as an institution, we will continue to strengthen our governance, manage risk prudently, and respond proactively to both global economic uncertainties and national economic environment. And this is very critical into ensuring that this financial institution, which is one of the leading financial institutions, remains ahead and effectively serves its members. I think we are a member-owned institution, and the overall focus has to remain on the members. And also want to underscore deep commitment to the youth development, or the financial education and inclusive growth for our members. And we must remain relevant, not only in Dominica, but we can extend further abroad. So those are some of the areas that we look to ensure that we continue creating exciting new initiatives to engage and attract our young members, and ensuring that our corporation remains vibrant.
Newly elected president of the Board of Directors of the National Cooperative Credit Union, Clement Marcel. And the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, or ECCB, is set to present a draft legislation for a regional citizenship by investment regulator to Dominica and 5 other Caribbean nations this month. This follows extensive consultations with Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and Grenada. ECCB Governor Timothy Antoine confirmed that the governments are committed to establishing unified oversight of the Citizenship by Investment, or CIP, programs. Over the past 3 months, the bank has submitted its second draft legal framework to the heads of government following discussions with regional attorneys generals in early May. Governor Antoine indicated that a policy decision meeting with the Prime Ministers is expected soon. After this meeting, the draft legislation will be shared with stakeholders for a 3 to 4 week review period. The proposed regional regulator will operate under a uniform law across all 5 countries, including Dominica. It aims to establish common standards for due diligence, or outsourcing, marketing, and developer engagement. This regulator will function as a separate legal entity from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. The regulator will be responsible for licensing all market participants, monitoring compliance, and enforcing standards. It will also engage with stakeholders at local, regional, and international levels regarding program developments. Governor Antoine outlined several critical success factors for the regulator, including political support, uniform legislation, independence, accountability, transparency, effective enforcement, and international cooperation. He expressed hope that regional governance would pass the final bill between August and December 2025. The National Bank of Dominica is due to launch a new small business unit. National Bank of Dominica representative Kelvin Tusa says the presence of the small business unit should encourage small business enterprise owners.
Also, I would like to take this opportunity to further remind you of our small business unit that we have recently put together, and we should be officially launching hopefully at some time this month or early next month. We'll be looking to assist small business owners and upcoming entrepreneurs like yourself to helping you turn your dream into a reality. So come down and visit us at the Old Street branch Monday to Friday, where we have very good and capable officers that can help take you from point A to point B to where you want to be, all right? So don't forget to come and check us out. And I want you to remember that National Bank is not just a financial institution, but we are your partner.
National Bank of Dominica representative Kelvin Tusa. The 4th National Climate Outlook Forum of the Dominica Meteorological Service will focus on the health implications associated with the forecast for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. The forum is scheduled to take place tomorrow at the Office of Disaster Management. Meteorological Assistant at the Dominica Meteorological Service is Vernie Marcel Honore.
Tomorrow, June 11th, the Dominica Met Service will be hosting its 4th National Climate Outlook Forum at the Office of Disaster Management. The National Climate Forums, or NCOFs, are normally held during the start of the dry season and the wet/Atlantic hurricane season. At the forums, the Dominica Met Service presents its rainfall and temperature forecast for the wet season to our climate-sensitive sectors such as agriculture, health, water, and tourism. This forum does have a health focus this time as we continue to build partnerships and bridge the gap between our forecast information and the implications on the ground, the implications that the public can expect from those forecasts. So our aim is to provide more tailored health information based on the seasonal forecasts that are issued.
Meteorological Assistant at the Dominica Meteorological Service, Vernie Marcel Honore. Dominica's ability to assess the impacts of weather systems on farmlands has been improved. Technical Officer of the Extension Unit in the Ministry of Agriculture, Miranda Laura Stevenson, says this is as a result of interventions by the Food and Agriculture Organization. She was a guest on the Office of Disaster program on DBS Radio this morning.
Famine is vulnerable. It's one of the most vulnerable enterprises. It's vulnerable to wind, flood, pest and disease, and anything can happen at any time. And it can also be localized. So one region may be isolated based on the situation, whether it's a flood and the bridge wash away. Like take for instance, typically Casper's River overflow its bound and Good Hope Software will be out of touch, So it could be localized or it could be national, and we have to prepare for that in terms of crop damage, crop assessments, educating and preparing the extension officers and livestock officers that work with the farmers to conduct those assessments. How do we calculate it in terms of what is the formula used? FAO has provided guidance in terms of assessing damage versus destroyed. How do you cost it? And also before the hurricane season, like right about now, in the beginning, it's really hot. Like it's really, there's so much to do, because in the event that something happen, you want to make sure that all the things are in place, like your forms for collecting information, your registry of farmers has to be updated.
Technical Officer of the Extension Unit in the Ministry of Agriculture, Miranda Laura Stevenson. A Youth and Community Symposium is amongst events for the 3rd Castle-Bruce reunion in August. Jefferson Drago of the Castle-Bruce Family and Friends Reunion says the organizers are upbeat ahead of the event.
The 3rd edition of the Castle-Bruce Family and Friends Reunion is scheduled to be held between August 10th to 17th, 2025, where we'll have Castle-Brucians and Dominicans alike converge on the beautiful village of Castle-Bruce for a week-long activity. It includes gospel explosion, cultural night, and very important, a youth and community symposium, which will highlight the way forward for Castle-Bruce, which will also highlight discussions on investment opportunities which will also highlight the way forward, how we do things to enhance our community and how we do things to empower members of our community. We look forward to Dominicans converging on Casabros in very large numbers. There are beside them the CO part of it. We encourage you to save the date, August 10th to 17th, 2025. Come and enjoy Casabros. Come and have fun in Casabros, where people will meet their families which they have not met for years. And so we want to encourage stakeholders, we want to encourage people that we have written to participate in this reunion. It will be a very grand event.
Jefferson Dranko of the Casabros Family and Friends Reunion. Local Government Commissioner Glenroy Tusa has called for greater cooperation among sectors to promote health and wellness in Dominica. His call came as the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and the Ministry of Health collaborated to organize a health fair at the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard last week.
And we believe that wellness and health is not the sole responsibility of the Ministry of Health. And so we have to partner. And that is why this activity here this morning is a partnership between the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services and the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development. Of course, we clearly recognize the important role that health plays in the development of our country. But at the ministry, and particularly the Division of Local Government, we've just ended a month of activities to mark Local Government Month. And one of our strengthful themes was cultivating a culture of health, wellness, unity, and collaboration, importantly as well of community service. Because, of course, we have been playing our part in ensuring there is that sort of resilience in our communities. We must be mindful that we have the overall thrust of becoming the first climate resilient country in the world. And so, in doing so, each of us, the private sector, the government entities, individuals, organizations, we must come together as one to ensure that we have this healthy living, this wellness that we so want to encourage in our communities and our country.
Local Government Commissioner Glenroy Tusa. Meantime, Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Community Development, Senator Oscar George, has called on men to take responsibility for their health.
In particular, I send a plea to our men who tend to be very reluctant in visiting medical professionals and to seek advice on their health. This is a problem we have to face head on. Our men are very reluctant to go into the doctors, and we have to put ourselves in a position and to make it easier and encourage them to support and go out to these events and take advantage of what is offered. And too many times we see that men only go to doctors when it's too late, because there's a culture of reluctance to visiting health professionals. So we have to take this on board and ensure that men are comfortable in visiting doctors. And I believe that events like this, fairs like this, can be a way of encouraging them to partake and take their health more seriously.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Community Development, Senator Oscar George, taking us to the end of this evening's National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot hide. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
DBS News.
And welcome back. Now, news from the region. Trade and Economic Development Ministers from the 15-member CARICOM community began a 2-day meeting in Guyana today against the background of many trade-related challenges facing the region and in a geopolitical environment which is changing very rapidly. CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Burnett, addressing the 60th meeting in the Council of Trade and Economic Development, said that the recent tariff shocks are a stark reminder of the need to diversify the region's trade and economic relations. Burnett told the conference that, as such, the work to address the way forward in trade relations with the United States, the bilateral negotiations with Colombia, and the outstanding certification of the Belize-El Salvador Partial Scope Agreement must be given focused attention. Internationally, the World Bank has slashed its 2025 global growth forecast Tuesday today, citing trade tensions and resulting policy uncertainty as U.S. President Donald Trump's wide-ranging tariffs strained ties and weighed on economic outlooks. The bank lowered its projection for global GDP's growth to 2.3% in its latest economic prospects report, down from 2.7% expected in January, the latest in a series of downgrades by international organizations. By 2027, the World Bank expects global GDP's growth to average 2.5% in the 2020s, which would be its slowest rate since any decade since the 1960s. This brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
Welcome back. Of course, this is your DBS Evening Sports Report for today, Tuesday, June 10th. Of course, we also welcome in the good listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. First off, Dominicans Alec Athenes and Kavem Hodge have been dropped from the West Indies test team for the upcoming Australia series. A 16-member squad was announced today for the 3-match home test series, which begins on Wednesday, June 25th at the Kensington Oval in Barbados for the coveted Sir Frank Worrell Trophy. With this series signaling the critical start of the 2025-2027 ICC Test Championship cycle, several changes have been made to the squad that last featured in the drawn series against Pakistan earlier this year. CWI Director of Cricket Miles Bascom expressed that selections were made in line with the team's commitment to building a bold, execution-driven identity in Test cricket, which consistency in batting output and the dynamic bowling attack being a key factor in the overall assessment. The West Indies Test squad for the series against Australia reads Roston Chase as captain, Jamil Warrican as vice-captain, Kevlon Anderson, Craig Brathwaite, John Campbell, Casey Carty, Justin Greaves, Shea Hope, Tevin Imlach, Alzari Joseph, Shama Joseph, Brandon King, Johan Lane, Mikhail Louis, Anderson Phillip, and Jaden Sills as that squad. Head coach of the national men's football team into some football action here as Ellington Sabin is aiming for a positive result as Dominica ends its campaign in the CONCACAF qualifiers for the FIFA World Cup tonight. The national team could finish as high as third place in the group if they are able to get all 3 points on their final match against the Dominican Republic.
Well, some of the players looking sharp, some of them still look like they're trying to find their feet, but I mean, we have a game to play tomorrow, there's no excuses. We have to go out there and give up a good performance against the opponents. We know they're disappointed in their recent result because they just lost a game and we just won, so it's about going and taking the game to them tomorrow and coming with a positive victory, a positive result.
All right, Coach, let's look at what's at stake. Basically, third place is on the line. A victory for Dominica can, guarantee us a third place finish in the group. What would this say about the World Cup campaign in the end?
Well, so far, it wasn't bad. We lost our first 2 matches. Won by a landslide, by a narrow margin. We won our third match. This is our final match. It's about going and trying to get 3 points in the game and come out third in the group. I mean, third is not a win. Third is not top of the group. Third is not guaranteed qualification, but third is better than 4-4-5.
All right, Coach. Let's look at the game tomorrow. And like you said, we had some work to do before we met the BVI in attacking. You're not too pleased with that. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, the attacking improved. I mean, we scored 3 goals in our last outing, so clearly the attacking improved. We cannot fault the players for the attacking abilities they showed in the last game. Now it's about showing our defensive abilities as well, because we know the DR team going to come pressing, they're going to come fighting, they're going to push for the victory. So it's about showing our defensive abilities. Might have some reshuffling of players to ensure that we solidify at the back there. But it's about just going out there tomorrow and having a good game and enjoying the game.
Well, I want to ask you this. What do you think will be the keys for victory for Dominica, or keys for a positive result?
Well, preventing penetration and scoring any chance we get, whether it be 1, 2 or 3 chances. We know we don't normally get a lot of chances in these games. The last time we got very few, and we managed to score 1 the last time we played them, and then in the second half they came out and scored a number of chances. So really and truly tomorrow is about remaining compact, preventing penetration, constant communication, because if you don't communicate, then it's going to be guesswork, and about putting away the chances that we get.
And that was head coach of the senior men's national football team, Ellington Sabin. Meantime, Guatemala tops the group with 9 points and a better goal difference over Jamaica, who also has 9 points. The Dominican Republic and Dominica have 3 points each, and the British Virgin Islands are yet to get off the mark. Dominica will play the Dominican Republic tonight, that is, at 7 p.m. in the Dominican Republic. Into some cricket action, the West Indies' poor run of form continued in England as they were beaten by 37 runs in the third T20. England batted first and amassed 248 for 3 in 20 overs. Jamie Smith got 60 and Ben Duckett 84. They shared an opening stand of 120. Jacob Bethel, 36 not out, and Harry Brook, 35 not out, gave England a winning score. Set 249, the West Indies lost their openers Johnson Charles and Evan Lewis early for 9 runs each. Shea Hope 45 and Rovman Powell 79 not out from 45 balls, and Jason Holder 25 kept the West Indies in the search before they ended on 211 for 8 in 20 overs. Ben Duckett was named man of the match and Joss Butler man of the series. Into some basketball action, Leslie Bengable was too hot to handle as he led the GGB of Guadeloupe to victory in the finals of the Creole Northern Conference Basketball Cup at the Massac Indoor facility on Monday. Bengable, one of the organizers of the competition, shot 20 points, Hilaire 18, and Marvin John Baptist 17, as GGB Guadeloupe defeated Ravens of Guyana 87-73. Shamak Monsley 23, Smith 11, Dominique Vincent and Ryan Gullin 10 points each. Bengable says GGP of Guadeloupe executed well on the night and took the title.
It was a great team performance. Everybody gave it to the team. We know it will be a great fight tonight because the Ravens team, the champion of Guyana, so they are a good team. We saw them play the first game and we knew it's going to be a big fight, but we keep it together and we finally won.
What strategies did you all have to use tonight to beat the Guyana tonight?
We had to do a lot of adjustment, because they got shooters everywhere and they can drive also. So we had to make some choices because we know we're good inside. We're better than them, so we had to force them to go play inside and not shooting the ball. Sometimes we did it well, sometimes we didn't, but that's the game. The game, it's on the long term. It's not a race. It's a marathon.
You saw the 4 nights of basketball in Dominica. You all emerged winners. Do you think you have the overall best team in this tournament?
I'm not going to say we have the best team. I will say we have the best team play. We're really well organized, good communication. Everybody respects his spot and what he has to do on the court. So at the end of the day, yeah, we are the best team because we play better than the other one.
And that was Leslie Bengable of the GGB team of Guadeloupe. In the third place match amongst the Dominican teams, Detroit Blazers beat Happy 767 Sports Club Dominators 83-72. Dreston Lee was outstanding with 25 points. Mekak Jubilee and Maxwell Birmingham 17, with Donnie Robinson collecting 11 and Lester Langley having 8 scored for the Blazers. Blazers captain is Lester Langley.
It's another hard-fought tournament. We did try to get properly prepared, but our first game we were a little leggy in the sense of to catch ourselves in our fitness. So as the game's going along, we're getting fitter and fitter. So that helped us help us to continue with the tournament. Well, we have our our very first game, we lost to Ravens, and we won our last 2 games. Every tournament we have international teams. We always have good and bad to get from it, and we have plenty good to get out of it because our players learn to adjust quicker, and we learn to slow and pace up when we have to. So all in all, the team right now, we as you can see, we try to implement some more younger players, and you know how it is already. Fellas, you have to beg them, but yet still, we're still coping, but the tournament was a success.
Detroit Blazers captain Lester Langley. Coach of Happy 767 Sports Club Dominators is Dustin Maggie Peters.
Yeah, well, we started off real good. We won our first game against the Guyanese, the Eagles from Guyana. And after that, I really thought we was going to go all the way. You know what I mean? I really fully confident that we was going to be that team to win everything. But our second game, we played against the Guadeloupe team, GGB. They give us a rude awakening. They're really fundamentalist, sound. You know, they have a lot of, organized and stuff like that. So that really held us down. And then tonight we came up against the Blazers, the champions. And every time we play them, somebody seemed to just go off. And tonight it was Dred Swanley, one of the young players. I'm really happy for him because he's a player. We only see the young players and them really, elevate and evolve. So Dred Swanley was a difference maker. We played hard. We did all that we could do, but it was just not about night to night, and it was Dred Swanley night to night. Everything he put up was just falling. Yeah, it was just raining for Dred Swanley.
So what do you take away from this tournament?
Yeah, well, from the tournament I say, well, we just need to get more organized. We need to practice, get some plays so that when we come down the court on offense, that we can have some go-to plays that we can execute. And when we need a basket, we don't have that. We start working on it, but we just have to continue so we can get there. It's a process, and we're on the right track. You know what I mean?
And that was coach of Happy 767 Club Dominators Dustin Maggie Peters. Former national referee Arlington James was recognized during the finals for his many years of service to basketball. Into some other sports here, female cricket, as Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom is confident the West Indies women's team will be able to bounce back following their difficult tour of England, where they were unable to secure a win in the 6-match ODI and T20 International Series. The West Indies women now move their attention to the upcoming white ball home series against South Africa women, set to take place in Barbados. The series is scheduled for 11th to the 23rd of June. Will feature 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20 internationals. According to Bascom, this home series offered the perfect opportunity for the team to regain their footing and re-establish their confidence playing in familiar conditions and in front of West Indian fans. The South African women arrive in the Caribbean ranked higher than the West Indies in both formats. Hayley Matthews will once again lead the squad, which sees one change from the England tour, with experienced all-rounder Chanel Henry coming in for Sherry-Ann Fraser. Into some more sports here, 74 athletes from 9 clubs and schools across Dominica participated in the 2025 Grand Bay Cooperative Credit Union Isidore Road Race. The road race, which was held on Sunday, was held with the Afons Athletics Club. Public Relations Officer of the Afons Athletics Club is Lucille Packett.
Juveniles, 0.6 carries. Both records and expectations were shattered in the youngest category. Boys overall. First place, Anil Edwards of the Aspirers Athletics Club, setting a new record of 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Second place, Desmond Kazimi of the Grand Bay Primary School, and third place, Ethan Hippolyte of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. Girls overall. First place, Esther Frank of the Aspirers Athletics Club, setting a new record of 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Second place, Kyra Bedminster of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club, and third place, Adelia Joseph of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. Juniors, 2 carries. Boys overall. First place, Daniel Thomas of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. Second place, Antoine Lewis of the Dominica Grammar School, And the third place, Omari Caesar of the Aspirers Athletics Club, girls overall. First place, Shanice Frank of the Aspirers Athletics Club. Second place, Amidi Joseph of the Aspirers Athletics Club. And third place, Leila Benjamin of the Westmar Rangers Athletics Club.
Paquette says the Aspirers Athletics Club dominated the awards category.
Youth and Seniors 4K race, boys overall. First place, Kervin Letham of the Pioneers Athletics Club. Second place, Radiant Felix of the Pioneers Athletics Club. And third place, Merrick Simon of the Dominica Grammar School. Girls overall, Akisha Luke of the Pioneers Athletics Club, first place. Second place, Nayola Allen of the Striders Athletics Club. And third place, Kimberly Aaron of the Striders Athletics Club. The event showcased not just individual talent, but also exceptional team spirit. The Aspirers Athletics Club dominated the medal tally with 6 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze medals, along with 5 trophies and the pride of setting 2 new records. Striders Athletics Club followed with 4 gold and 1 silver, earning 2 trophies. Pioneers Athletics Club delivered with 2 golds, 2 silvers and 3 bronzes, taking home 3 trophies. Westmar Rangers Athletics Club also left their mark with a haul of 1 gold, 2 silvers, 3 bronzes and 5 trophies.
And that was Public Relations Officer of the